Thank you so much, everybody, for uh, coming to this Agentic AI session. My name is Mustafa. Uh, I'm with Royal Cyber. So today's event, we will be talking about Agentic AI.
Sound is not loud enough. Maybe use this one. Take it.
Okay, so let's start. Please. Okay, so we have today Sundar from Microsoft. He will be here. I mean, he will be uh, talking about Azure AI Foundry. Then we have Afzal, Asif, Jason, Amar, and I mean Heather. So they are all sitting on the right of me. So if you can please say hello to everybody. So I mean, I mean after the session, if you have uh, any type of questions, yeah, please reach out to them. Okay, so and here is the high-level agenda for today. So, I mean, we will be talking about how agentic AI can help you. We will be talking about the Azure AI Foundry, and then, I mean, we will have live demos of agentic AI for marketing, legal, healthcare, and also, the enterprise use cases like human resources, marketing, and so on and so forth. And then after the session, we will have a fun game, okay, where you can win some prizes, and then we have a networking session. So just to let you know about us, so we have been in business for the last uh, 20 plus years. We are about 2,000 plus people worldwide. We are an ISO certified company. We are Microsoft Gold partner. So I think here is something which I wanted to share with you. So Gartner said that there will be 6 trillion in global cost saving expected annually from AI by 2027. So how do we do that? So if you can raise your hand, if you think that, raise your hand if your team spends too much time on a repetitive task that you wish AI could handle for you. So how many people think that? It's a lot of people. Okay, who here have experimented with AI beyond chatbots? For example, automating workflows, IT support, or customer service. Have anybody tried that? Okay, great. Some of you have done. Okay. Who believes that AI agents will become as common in the workplace as email within the next 2 years or 2 to 3 years? Okay, a lot of you. Raise your hand if you think your industry could be disrupted by competitors using autonomous AI before you do. Yeah, I think some of you would like to do that. Okay, awesome, great, yeah. So I think that is good to know. How many people know Sam, Altman, the CEO of, OpenAI? So some of you do. Okay, most of you do. So Sam Altman came up with this 5-step plan for the autonomous AI. Let me just put the highlight also. So, I mean, he came up, with this 5-step plan for artificial general intelligence. How many people know about, AGI? Okay, some of you do that. So AGI is a 5-step process. Okay, so when ChatGPT came, that was about a few years back. We were on level 1. So during that time, you can ask any question to the ChatGPT, and then the ChatGPT replies back. After that, what happened? After that, you got the reasoning model. So now The level 2 was the reasoning model. So if you remember, ChatGPT 4 came, right? So I mean, they had the reasoning model. So with the reasoning model, human level, it came with the human level problem solving. Right now, in this time, we have, basically agentic AI. So right now, as you know, that ChatGPT also supports, the agentic AI. So right now we are working on agentic AI. But in the next 5 to 10 years, we will be going to level 5. And once you reach level 5, AI that can do the work of an organization. So I think that is the path. That's where we are leading to. But right now we are on level 3 and we are talking about the agentic AI. Okay. So the question is, what is an AI agent? How many people are familiar with agent or AI agents? Okay, a lot of you do. So here are some of the key features of an agent. So an agent can reason, plan, and it can also execute. So let's say that if I can answer that how many vacation leaves I have left. So if I ask that question, I mean that question will go to the agent, orchestration engine, and that will come up with a plan on how to reply to that request. And then it has, basically access to tools and also different generative AI models. So the three main key components of an agent is model, tools, and then orchestration. Okay, so I mean, so if you can just keep, think about it. So what people are asking for, customers are, I mean, they want to automate complex workflows and they want to help, their things move faster. So how do we do that? So let's, yeah, do a simple scenario. How many people request leave, right? And I mean, how do you do that? I mean, at Royal Cyber, we use uh, Workday for our human resource tool. Okay. So if I want to apply for leave, I will have to first log in to my Workday. So I mean, we have a two-factor, multi-factor, authentication login. After I go through that, then I will go to the Workday page. I will find out the particular page where I can apply for the vacation, and then I will have to fill out the form, and then I will have to log back and see that if my request got approved by a manager or not. So and then once that particular thing is approved, then I will have to go to my Microsoft Outlook and set up my Outlook out of office reminder. Right. So I mean, are you guys familiar with this process? Now with this agentic AI, I can do that whole thing with just one line. I just have to type in my multi-agentic assistant, apply for vacation for next week. And all of the other tasks of like filling the form, doing the policy check, and then the immediate confirmation, auto notification. No one need to visit portal, and it will also set up my Outlook message. So I don't have to do all of these steps. Okay, so I'm saving maybe half an hour, 15 minutes, right, to do that. But that is money, right? The time is money, right? So what goes, behind the scene? So when the user goes and asks, okay, please apply for vacation Monday, Tuesday next week. So I mean that particular request goes to the supervisor, agent. So I mean now we are talking about a multi-agentic system, right? So a request goes to the supervisor, and now I have in my enterprise IT, I have a lot of different agents available. I have a time off agent, I have an LOA expert, I have a promotion expert, LOA rules, HR policy. So for this particular request, what do you think, where this supervisor will hand over this request to? Which agent? So it will go to the time off specialist, which knows how to do the So it will, send this request within a time of specialist, and then it will say that your vacation request is submitted. If I have a more difficult question, like, am I allowed an LOA, leave of absence for, extended sickness? Now, this particular request will go to the supervisor agent. The supervisor agent will come up with a plan. It knows that I have all of these sub agents available. So this particular request might be handled by multiple, agents. So it will go to the LOA expert. The LOA expert might then talk to the LOA rules, and then it will respond you back. Okay. So this is just a high-level overview about the multi-agentic architecture. Now, there are a lot of use cases. If you go to any, basically, enterprise, there are many use cases in sales, marketing, HR, finance, which can really, if you make all those processes simplified, you can save a lot of money and a lot of time. So let's take a simple scenario. Let's say that I have a uh, company which has about 5,000 employees. Now, if using the multi-agentic assistant, if I can save 3 hours every week, that comes to about 12 hours every month per employee, and it comes to about 216,000 hours every year. So if I take 216,000 hours multiplied by, let's say that my average hourly salary is $50 an hour. So it comes to about 10.8 million of savings. So by simplifying the task, simplifying the UI, you are I mean, I'm just going with a very minimal um, time you can save. But I mean, if you go 5 hours, I mean, you can save about $18 million a year based on 5,000 users. So now I want to hand it over to Sundar, and I mean, Sundar is Microsoft Azure, specialist, and he will walk you through the Azure AI Foundry. So please, Sundar.
Thank you, Mr. Good afternoon, everyone. As Maz mentioned, I'm Sundar Ramakrishnan, Azure specialist or cloud AI specialist this year. They changed the title. So I cover state, local, and education in Midwest. I work with folks like Atnal sitting here on that and cover Chicago and other accounts education. And the Royal Sabre team is their partner. So my role is anything and everything in Azure. So today I'm not in the full bag agenda, so I'm not going to get more into the details of the other things, but mainly why Microsoft. I want to just talk about the Azure platform and what it is like. When you are choosing a partner, any cloud provider, right? I think there's the few things you need to make sure, where the partner is, where the organization is going. It's not as big as the work you're doing anymore. I mean, anything in agentic AI or AI, it's not going to be silo. We're not just going to do one project here in AI and we can look for others, right? So you need to make sure that all the stack, the product, what's the vision of the organization, the stack, what they are going, leveraging the products are all AI infused. So if you look at that way, I mean, I want to bring it from the start with the infrastructure for AI. So we have NVIDIA. You all know the NVIDIA partnership we have, and that's swinging strongly. And we have a leading in the infrastructure. If someone wants to do, on-prem or maybe a edge side of it, and cloud as well. The other is a data platform. That's our bread and butter. So that's where the differentiator, I would call it. It's AI is all about data. So the more you have a quality data, the more this is better. So and then it's not just the data, but also we can talk about the security comes into that with data is also important there. And then the AI platform and toolkit, we all know how we are partnered with OpenAI. And also, I want to mention, I think that the team is going to talk about the chat GPT 5 or the Model 5 coming, right? But still, our enterprise API is Microsoft owns that. I mean, it's still we are the IP owner for that. So that's one of the differentiators. You can say models are available. Yes, models are available. If you want to customize it, if you want to use the API, that's where the Microsoft comes in the picture. So we have AI Foundry, AI Hub, that's the toolkit. And then we talked about a little bit on the security. Security, we are taking it really very serious. I think we can see the statistics was 65 trillion we are tracking every day on that message. So we are looking at the tools like a Purview and other data governance tool. So that makes your data more quality and then having with the secure. And then the responsible AI. The responsible AI is very important. So I think this is another differentiator. We also say it stays in the middle or maybe the content filter, we call it. So where if someone asks some questions which are toxic or something not to be asked, so it will be right away we are telling the admin or whoever the contact person reaching out and doing it, and also we are filtering it, the responsible AI. Then the other one, the AI-enabled application, that's what I was talking about, how it's not just one model here. We are not just, we are a very good partner with OpenAI, but OpenAI is not the only partner for us. We work with Mistral, we work with the DeepSeek, I mean, Waves platform, Curve. It's all in AI Foundry. And that's one thing, and also if you look at our products in a GitHub, or Copilot, or Dynamics, it's all AI enabled now. The last but not least, scaling. That's I think that's one of the piece when Mustafa we were also talking about the go-to-market side of it. The scaling. That's also another. We have a unified team that we have a proactive scalings, and also we have partners like Royal Cyber. Then when you have download from marketplace, they can give 1 or 2 weeks scaling how to do that and things like that. So I want to make sure that when you can go, you decide where you want it, but I think this is a differentiator. Make sure that you have from infrastructure to data, plus also the AI stacks are all in the product. Again, this is another, side, another vision. We can see, like you see how the business users and citizen developers are. They are also empowered with the AI. You can see the Power BI data Copilot there, and the Power Apps, and then the Dynamics Edge. We talked about some of the things, right? So you can also leverage the AI and the agents. Agents can be built on that. A few things are missing. The Copilot Studio and agents are the agent builders are there. So you can build those for the business users and citizen developers. And if you're a serious developer, we have a big stack of Azure Foundry as well. So you can leverage either one. So that's why I want to make sure that why Microsoft, what's the differentiator or anything like that. But then I want to hand it over to Sarmat for the cool demo. If you have any questions, and if you don't know you don't know your account team or anything, feel free to reach me out. I can be able to connect. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be hanging around here.
Thank you so much, Sundar. Hey everyone. All right. So what Sundar just presented was more of a theoretical discussion on how different features and different AI kind of solutions are available from Microsoft. And what I'm going to do is deep dive into how this AI Foundry becomes your centralized platform for creating enterprise-grade agentic AI solutions. So it all starts with your model catalog, right? So it's a central repository which manages your different kind of models that you want to use. It has authentication processes, it has governance and everything. So first of all, look into model catalog. This is going to give you the models which are proprietary, like coming from Azure OpenAI. And then you have models which are available open source, like Llama, like Grok or any other model, right? So then they have the playground, which basically lets you quickly test. Maybe you want to do a litmus test of how GPT-5 is better than GPT 4.1. So this is the playground where you can quickly go and start talking, chatting, and get the difference in the response quality of the two. Moving forward, they have the agent services. So this is the Azure Agent AI agent service, which lets you quickly create POCs or quickly spin up agents that you can use to create an enterprise use case. So opening it up, you would see like you're gonna provide it a name, whatever you like. Then you have to pick up a model deployment, which is what AI brain you wanna give it to. GPT-4o, or you want to give it something else, whatever you decide, that model gets into it and becomes the brain of your AI agent. And then you have instructions. Instructions, I believe everybody would have heard about the system prompts. So these are the instructions which the model takes by heart, and then whenever executing or generating a response, it follows them very, very religiously, right? So in here, you provide the instructions, and then you go if you want to add some description. This is just for your own use case so that you would know what this agent is supposed to do. Then comes the two very important features. How are you going to ground your agent? That comes with the knowledge. How your agent is going to interact with the environment around it? That comes with action. So these are the two different things which makes a large language model from a large language model to an AI agent, right? So you create APIs. Let's assume you have any ticket management system, right? What you want to do is that you want the AI agent to go and create a ticket for you. For that, you need the agent to take that action. So that is being done by the actions, section over here. And the beauty of Microsoft is that they have already provided you many out-of-box features. For interpreter, it basically writes and executes the code, right? It does the data analysis for you. Open API specs, which is like a JSON format that you can use and pull in any kind of APIs that you have, provide authentication keys, and simply let the AI take the actions. Logic app, which is again a low code, no code kind of interface where you can go drag and drop, define the flows, what it is supposed to do. After getting the data, it should submit somewhere, what response it should give. Then you have options to make custom functions, Azure functions, right? Moving forward, you have options to add knowledge. When we say knowledge, of course, it's from Microsoft, so it's going to provide you, integrations out of the box with the entire Azure and Microsoft ecosystem. So you see like you can upload files, then you have options to connect it to Azure AI Search, which really becomes a key role when you're talking about unstructured data. It keeps the embeddings, which is like numerical representation of all your data so that it can get answered by doing similar research. Microsoft Fabric, of course, that's their new data platform. It keeps your structured, unstructured, semi-structured data in its lakehouse, and then you can simply go and ask questions from it. SharePoint, I believe everybody uses in their organization. You have grounding with Bing Search, which is like get data from the internet. Custom Search, TripAdvisor, and OneStar are two other APIs available to, ground the AI agent with data. Now that we have talked about the journey of large language model from large language model to a standalone AI agent, but now we want to move forward and make an agentic system. That means you need a triage agent that should connect to some sub agents and do handoffs. I'm a business analyst. I need three different people. I need a writer, I need a code executor, which knows how to write SQL, and I need a reviewer, right? So three different roles. The beauty of multi-agentic systems is that you create agents which are specific to certain roles, and they are like very expert of it through your prompting, and then you have a master agent which is sitting on top and then doing handoffs. I'm getting a request, I can define a flow which could be sequential, which could be acyclic, which could be cyclic or a DAG kind of flow, right? So it's gonna start with a query, do some analysis on AI for 2025. It's gonna get the data first, right? So I'm going to get a writer agent, which is going to get the data. Then I'm going to have a business analyst looking for different pages, different links, bringing in research, white papers, and finally a reviewer, which is going to review whatever you have written. Does it actually make sense to the question or no? This is how you moved into agentic system. which are like very commonly and very widely used today, uh, at least in most of the IT organizations, right? And then, of course, there are some parameters. I'm not going to go into details, but these are very commonly used as well to define creativity of your agent. Then you have templates, which basically lets you see or just quickly go and use, already created multi-agentic or automation solutions, right? So this is where, consultants or experts like Roy Server comes into picture. Microsoft has given everything which is available on GitHub. Then you need people like us who can help you, accelerate and quickly adopt these kind of solutions. Fine tuning is another very important aspect of generative AI, which lets you update the weights or the training data of your large language model so that it out of the box provides or adapts to your kind of jargon, your industry jargon, right? Then content understanding is another feature which basically parses your document in a way that it understands every field. Just text is not enough. You have a PDF, it could be multimodal, right? It could have images, forms, charts, figures, tables. So this is like content understanding feature so that you don't have to hire a developer who needs to write everything, rather use this feature. Now let's assume you have your product ready using all these tools and it's in production. What you developers want to do is to trace. It's not like I gave a task to AI and the AI will do everything for me. I want to trace. I have given connected tools, I have given connected agents. Now I want to see like when I send the question, which agent did it hand off to? Which tool that specific agent used? So this is the tracing feature which is available out of the box from Microsoft AI Foundry. Then of course monitoring, you want to see the performance. What is the latency? Anybody who tried GPT-5 here? Do you guys think it is super slow? Right? It takes more time than usually a GPT-4 or GPT 4.1 would take, right? Just because it's thinking, they have different versions as well. But when it comes to a production application, you want to make sure that the answer is delivered timely. So that's where optimization comes in. And to optimize your platform, you need to look into the performance of your current solution, right? So that's where these kind of solutions of monitoring application analytics comes into the play. Now, finally, I have a system created and it is generating answers. I say hi to a large language model, it will say me hello. Next time it will say, hey, what's going on? So there are like different kind of things, different ways of responding to any question, right? So you want to evaluate, you want to see like if the answer that is coming is actually making sense or no. Or it is something that the model is writing on its own rather using my data, the knowledge that I connected. That's where this evaluation becomes a key role. Guardrails, controls, of course, you want to put in a lot of restrictions around your solution that it should not mess up with PII data, any kind of SSNs or any kind of safe secure information that you would not like to put into large language model, right? That's the guardrails things. Of course, if there are any risks, any alerts in a way that any sexual, abusive, violent kind of content is being used or thrown at your application, it would mark them as risks and send you alerts. Finally, you have governance. So in an organization, of course, you would like to see everything, but it would not like a developer to see everything. So you need governance. You need to define who can see what kind of data, who should see what kind of results, right? That's where the governance comes into play. They have Microsoft Purview, which is like their inbuilt feature from Microsoft ecosystem, and it integrates very well, controls what access should be given to whom. There are some out of the open source tools also available like Credo and Sidot, which Sidot is available. Credo is still coming soon. All right. So that's about the introduction. If you guys have any questions before I jump into the demo. It's good. All right. How many of you tried that AI event coordinator over there? Cool. So I'm gonna show you how I created one. I'll create with you guys rather, and then we'll see what it can do. All right. So as explained, we're gonna go into agents, and there I have one already prepared. That's a demo agent. So I selected a model, GPT-4 on it, and then I have given instructions. You are a personal assistant to Sarmat, helping him in day-to-day tasks. Always greet him on the start of the conversation and ask if any kind of need is help is needed. Right. Then, of course, for the timings, I defined like you go to my calendar, from calendar items, you only look into title and timings and give it like time conversion prompt where it has to convert from UTC to CST. So this is, you'll see like it will actually do all those things which I've instructed here, right? And then I talked about knowledge. So you can see like I have given it Bing search, which is like it will go and search stuff on the internet and give me like latest information. Then a vector store is like the embeddings that it holds, and then I've uploaded a file. This file basically keeps all sort of travel policies for ourselves. So if you want to get responses from internal documentation, this is how you can upload a file, create a SharePoint integration and things. Right. Now this is good. I've got enough knowledge, but now I want my agent to take some actions. I want to go and look into the calendar. From there, see like what events do I have for today, and then just speak it out for. Then you have send email tool, which basically whenever prompted or asked is going to send an email. And lastly, I have another tool which is send message in Teams, which is going to send a message in the team. The message or the content of the message would depend upon my interaction with the AI, right? So that being said, I'm gonna go into the live playground for voice. Here they have like real-time models as well. If you just want to talk to the models, or you can pick bring my agent. I'm gonna pick bring my agent, and then I have the demo agent selected. Very simple. You just have to pick like whatever configurations you want. End of utterance. This is like some customizations that you can apply. Audio enhancement so that it would just avoid any kind of background noise. And then speech output. You can define the speech rate. You can define voice temperature, which is like how should be the accent and the fluency of the whatever she's saying. And then you pick up an avatar. So I'm gonna turn the avatar on, and whichever you guys like, I'll go with it. I can do content logging, and I'll hit apply. For the sake of doing it properly, I'll have to open up my microphone settings. Cool. Okay.
Hello, sir. Madam So, how can I assist you today? Do you need help with anything?
Yeah, sure. Can you tell me what's on my calendar for today?
Here's what's on your calendar for today. 1. Event preparation. Time 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. 2. Canceled. ET delivery compliance, RC Zoho, RC Confluence, and RC Zoho PM tasks. Time 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
Oh, I see. This is very important. So the one, the event preparation thing, this is very important. I think I already informed my team to start some preparations. Can you send a follow-up message on team and see how the preparations are coming along?
I sent a
Oh, I totally forgot. I'm basically one of the speakers in that session too. can you do me a favor? Can you search for latest AI trends on internet and give me, detailed, descriptions on it?
Human
Oh, I think this is too much. I'm running late for something. Can you do me a favor? Can you get a consolidated summary and send it over to me in an email? Just one last thing. I actually have to fly to Chicago. Can you look into the policy documents of Promise Server and tell me how much they're gonna pay for the domestic flight?
Please let me know, Sarman. How can I assist you?
Yeah. Can you look into the travel policy and tell me what they do for the domestic travel?
Employees.
What's the allowance for the breakfast? It from my side. If you guys have any questions, and you can see like it keeps the entire log of the chat conversation. It is bringing data by making API calls, looking into knowledge, and getting things done for us. So after this, I would like to hand over to Jason. He'll show you some custom solutions. Go ahead.
By the tools you need or what it actually runs the attack every time.
Yeah. So once you have created an agent, it is kind of deployed in Azure AI Foundry. You just have to go and invoke it every time to start a conversation. But the prompt template, the knowledge, the actions that you define are always persistent in Azure AI Foundry. You can go tweak them, reuse them, take them out of your AI Foundry, put it into your applications, surface it over there.
This persistence in the cloud. If I want to move it in my private cloud or something like that, what I can move it.
What are you able to do to move it?
Do I have to move it?
No, it actually, whenever you're seeing his platform, but it is all available through APIs. So you just have to, get the authentication keys, use the RSA keys, put it into your code and use it.
So I think I'm sure it's use of switch. When an agent invokes another agent, hands off, how is it being controlled by prohibit the agent never comes back? Are these built-in security or making something go into some recursive loop, right?
So yes, it can. Then there are parameters that you can set on an SDK level, which basically lets you define how many retries it is supposed to do. Let's assume you have a sub-agent which is supposed to do a research on a topic and the internet connection is failing. It's gonna try. You can define your own fallback mechanism if you try 3 times, back off,
Okay.
tell them that I was not able to find the information. And then the tracing thing comes into the play. So it tells you it went there, tried that, got information from there. This is the response that it retraced and gave back to the master.
One final question. I noticed that you were just simply talking There's no prompt like Alexa or Siri, just like how I invoke my you. Or
Yeah.
how would it know if talking to the agent and not talking to the agent?
That's actually a great feedback I would take. Basically, what we are doing right now is to start and stop the session, and then it's listening all the time. But I would rather tweak it next time to be like, hey, Hilda, maybe, and then she listens and starts from there. Otherwise, it should not listen.
So agent does have a prompt. Or
Yeah, it does take a process. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much. Over to you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you. My question is, when we are invoking the agent and giving the prompts, so whatever the results it fetches, where exactly it is getting stored? Is it like on our local system? It is, let's say I'm using team, and for the team, we have a channel. And for that channel, I wanted to create an agent which reads the information based on my prompt. So processed information, where it is getting stored? Is it on the cloud server side or is it on the local side?
Right. It's on the cloud. So the AI Foundry comes in as a end-to-end package. It has Cosmos database which keeps everything persistent. The threads, the messages, the responses from the agents, the tool calls that it made, the responses that it got from the tool call. Everything persists in threads in AI Foundry, but you have an option. You can go and delete them. Just like agents persist and their metadata, similarly the threads and the conversation QA exist in them.
Yeah, and just follow-up question is the kind of demo you showed us. Uh, is it any trial version of the Azure Foundry we can use to have a kind of look and feel to get through it more?
I'm looking at Sundar for the answer, but I think they do give like $200, $300 on your first account, first trial. I'm not sure if they are going to offer you a Foundry with that. That's a question for Sundar.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sundar, would you like to answer it?
So we do have Azure credit, $200, you can try it out. But depends on the model, right? I mean, we cannot say how often we want to use it and things like that. So yeah, you can start from there. I mean, like the good thing I would say the best answer is to talk to your account team and see if you're really interested in POC or ready to that. So we can listen. No, you can access your personal as well. You can Google Hotmail or any other handle, so you can do it. You can just download your account and whatever device and you can do it. Yeah. But if you're doing it that way, like I said, the limitations from you. If you go through R, then there's more options, right? I mean, you can talk to your account team, they can help you something. So there's no like a one straight answer. But if you're looking at a personal level, $200 is.
Yep. There's a question.
How much would it cost to set up an agent like that? Is it like a one-time cost or is it like a recurring thing? Is it different based on usage?
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
It's based on usage. I mean, when you talk about enterprise grade solutions, you can go and get paid use. But if you're just talking about a POC, that's where that's where you can go and pick like pay as you go model. So they have token based consumption. Tokens are like words. You can think of them as words. How many you are asking it, the prompt, the response, and then there is some processing tokens, like hidden tokens. So I think the entire thing that I just made would have cost me around hardly $5.
Thank you. And then how much would it cost for like, for prompts? Every time you ask a question.
It depends what how lengthy the prompt is. Usually the prompt tokens are cheaper than the generation tokens. So the generation tokens are not just generation token, rather it is looking into your knowledge sources as well. It is bringing context which could be 5 long paragraphs, but it is rephrasing into 3 lines. So it all gets into accounted for. So I think my each question would be few cents. It's very hard to tell you exact very few cents.
I understand. I get it. Just thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Over to you, Jason.
All right. Thank you, Summer, for showing us the AI Foundry. And now let's focusing on the AI workflows for enterprise automation. And I think all the business have this question: how intelligent workflows can streamline the business processes? And in Road Cyber, we came up with this idea to have like an agent to handle the manual processes. Was just ask simple questions like just like what Matt mentioned earlier. If you want to apply for leaves, you just agent for them to do that. And to further introduce RC Assistant, which is AI-powered multi-agent hub, RC Assistant centralized like multi-agent AI systems, and it's across all departments, and which allows employees to do their tasks within a couple minutes. And with all the increasing demands, and I think the automation tool is really essential. And from the diagram, we can see that we have HR agents, IT agent, finance agent, as well as the marketing agent. These four agents, I mean, there are more coming. These four agents work together, automate department processes, and everyone in our company can, do self-service within a UI, which I will show later. And I'm gonna quickly do a demo on the RC Assistant. Okay, as you guys can see, we have the agent mapped out from the left hand, and this is a role-based control. So for my privilege, I only have this four agents that presenting for demo. And now let's do if you want to like update the employee information. And so the manual step will be like in our company, people will send an email to the IT team, and then the IT team will communicate. They need to like go to a different system and look up for the information that has been updated, and they need to sync that information to a different system, which may take maybe like hour or so, depends on like the communication, because there's email back and forth. So now employees can just ask simple questions. Let's do a quick demo here. Okay, so I have this predefined. Let's just say here. Send. It's asking for, yeah, this is a login page with, we use Microsoft for login. Okay, let me do that again. So here I'm asking for updating my personal profile, and I need to provide the email. So it's thinking, it's pulling the data from Microsoft. So it's taking some time. So we can see here, we have all the information listed. with my name, also like the location, as well as my manager detail. And now I wanna update my business phone number. Let's say, okay. Okay, and the agent will confirm before any further action. So I'm gonna just say confirm. Here we can see we have like a message from the agent. And I also have my email here, but you guys cannot see. So it's telling the user my profile has been successfully completed, updated, and here with the summary there. And now I'm going to do another demo on the attendance agent. So this agent, we usually need to go to the Workday page to submit our attendance. And we need to click on like the menu, and menu process will be done. You need to do that maybe like for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Now you can just ask agent to do that. And here, okay, I'm gonna ask, can you update Jason's attendance? And it's asking me for the email. So I'm gonna paste my email here. And it's asking me for more details like the date, also the check-in time and the checkout time. And I just need to paste that also. Now it's checking data from the system to see if I have like the record for that day or not. So it's taking, see there, the current attendance record for Jason Chen shows no check-in or checkout time. And I just need to confirm that. There are multiple actions involved in this step. So it was sent an email to the manager. That's why it's taking this long. And I need to be see an email has been sent to Workday for approval, and the manager will have to approve for this request, and then the employee will get an email notice after that. And for simplicity, I'm gonna just show some chat history for the rest of the agents. Okay. So we have like a Microsoft Group email creation agent, and if I ask to create a Microsoft Group, we first the usual step would be we go to the Microsoft Azure cloud, and then we have to log in with two-factor authentication. Now we can just ask simple question like this, and then the agent will guide you to fill out the information needed. So here you can see if you ask for creating a Microsoft group, and it will ask the following questions, like the name, public or private, and they have the notes on the public and the private. Also, you need to provide an email for this group. So as you can see there, I provided the name and the email group as private, as well as the email domain here, and also the description. And now it's asking you for confirmation before any further actions. And after your confirmation, the agent will tell you, oh, the email group has been created. And after that, you can add any person in your organization. For example, I added myself to that group, and it's asking me for another confirmation. And then once I confirm, it will say done. The user jason.chen@rosecyber.com was successfully added to the MS event test group. And we also have the leave agent, which you can actually pull out your leave records for the company, and you don't have to, go to the system and then try to find, locate the leave section is. So here you ask for checking Jason's available leaves and just providing the email that will show all the leaves here. So casual leave, holiday and sick days, work from home. And if you want to apply for leaves, for example, on yesterday, and it will provide the information here and then ask for your confirmation. And once you're, oh yeah, you also need a reason for that. That's like essential component for a role. And then Jason's when they casual leave on 18 August 2025 for the reason of personal work has been successfully applied, and it will give you the summary here, and that's how the whole process is done within a minute. And now I'm going to quickly show the workflow behind this. So just for better visualization, we have an email shipper, which the employee initially needs to send an email to the IT team, ask for profile updates, and then the agent will extract that information and call the API, call the tools, and send an email confirmation after that. And from the bottom, we can see there's a webhook connected to an agent, which we are using for the RC assistant. You can first process the information within the agent, and the agent will decide which tool to call. For example, we can see that there is a general update tool, a manager update tool, or you can send an email. And there's also a helpful tool which contains another agent. And in this case, it would be like multi-agent. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. I'm gonna hand it over to Leslie for more use cases. Any questions? Yes.
In this case, how the security taken care of? Because RC agent and the employee applications both owns by different tenant. So in that case, how secure communication is happening to ensure that sensitive information is not stored on the AI server or outside of the network of the org.
Yeah.
And this is one security. Another one is how the authorization take care of that. Anyone should not be coming and use this chatbot to get the internal information about any employee or anything.
Yeah, just to answer your first question. So this service is hosted by Azure. So we have like the guardrail, everything control, and the data we store in there, which secure the data. And to answer the second question, we use Microsoft to log in, and we have that information passed through the backend, and we will have the agent map out according to the user profile. That's how we handle it.
So login credential which is used for the RC agent is the same what employee credential for the Azure portal?
Yes.
The enter ID sync.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Like a basic question.
Yeah, quick follow-up question. Seems the agent itself can inherit the permission from the Microsoft, is that right assumption?
Inherits where you
So if someone in Microsoft, based on your permission, can access to certain information, that means an agent can access the same information?
No, you need to log in with your personal profile. So you have that, let's just say if you are a intern, right, of the company, you cannot just pull the data from, the agent.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So the first was, is this like Jiffy or what's this? What is this?
Just just for better visualization.
Okay. So this is not how you, it's not like one of those, and that gets installed. With some sort of-
Workflow.
Yeah, workflow.
Is it again?
I mean, there are, many. You can use,
Yeah.
Azure has something called a power automate.
Yeah. You can use any other automation tools. So.
And the second question, I think was partially answered from security, but it's like when you, for example, were attempting to go to, I don't know, how many holidays you had, you might be going to an ADP system, and now that requires, let's say, another authentication. Maybe you have to opt out or something. How does that?
Yes, I think, it's basically, it's a full stack. So, first you have to log in first, right, with your, whatever application you are using, either Microsoft or something else, right? Once you log in, then you can, it has the rollback, role-based, security. So you can, only see those things which you have in security permission.
So when the agent starts to log in, you get access to that prompt window. Everything pretty much has been authenticated, like everything that the agent can do has been done.
Yeah, so-
Otherwise, you go through, hey, I'll send you a text message, look at my phone, and it's not gonna do anything. You can handle all of that.
Yes.
That's all, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
If I log in, I will see much more than what I'm in basically.
Yeah.
I'm a super, user.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.
The last session is
Before the break, yeah, this is the last session. And this is me. My name is Atif. I'm automation practice head at Royal Cyber. So today what I will demonstrate is a multi-platform news publishing agent that connects with your social media accounts and manage them for you. This can be for a person, this can be for enterprises. So what it helps you do is it's really hard to keep posting on your social media accounts if you want to keep conveying your message, especially if you're an organization. And organizations are changing so fast these days that if you have some product offerings, especially if you're into technology sector, products are evolving at a very fast pace, especially after the AI, generative AI is launched. To keep on posting about new features that your products are coming up with is difficult. And this agent can help you do that. You can be maybe connected with your release notes or the documentation of your product. And based on that, you can keep on posting uh, details. So what it does is, when I developed it for myself, I developed it using my own face. And this is my avatar that it uses to post. There are multiple of them, and it uses one of them at a time, curates news from different portals, and creates a script to generate a video, a reel for me. This can also be triggered on the basis of uh, um, a breaking news that it gets real time, or based on my command sent through a messaging app that this is about what I want you to make a reel right now. So let's take a look at one such sample that it created a few days ago. Hello, AI enthusiasts, ready for today's tech updates? First, let's discuss how automation is revolutionizing industries. Companies like UiPath are enhancing robotic process automation with their latest tools that leverage AI to streamline and optimize workflows. Imagine cutting down task completion time by 50%. Next, in the world of customer service, businesses are turning to conversational AI. For instance, Zendesk has introduced AI-driven automation that personalizes user experiences while reducing response times. It's like having a super efficient digital assistant at your fingertips. Keep up with the future of AI automation. It's happening now. Oh, AI enthusiasts, ready for today? All right, so at the back, this is the kind of flow it uses. So you can see one, if I can point it, it would be easier to understand. All right, so this is it. All right, so this is an AI agent block in n@n. And here you can see there are multiple ways it can be triggered. One is at a specific time, daily at 10 a.m. specifically, it triggers. And it goes to multiple news sites to gather information from. And then creates a script based on the system prompts I have given to it to follow a specific format, to follow a specific way of communication that I wanted to follow, and then come up with a JSON to trigger rest of the steps that we'll see in a while. Apart from that scheduled trigger at 10 a.m. in the morning, there is a capability of calling this API that it has exposed, and any website that can trigger breaking news through API calls can be hooked up with it to create reels based on that breaking news. There is this Telegram node connected here. I can message to this agent and give it a cue that about what I wanted to produce a reel right now, and it can do it for me. After creating this script, it sends the signal to an engine that creates a video for me, and then it checks when the video is produced after maybe a few minutes. It does a couple of more steps, like here you can see it puts a watermark, it changes some formatting, it creates a screenshot and puts a title on the screenshot to be used as thumbnail for this video. And then it posts it to LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all at the same time. I've been using this for roughly around a month now. These are the numbers. This was a fresh account. There were no followers. I just created it. I did not even invite any of my friends to use this account or connect to this account or follow this account. I just experimented with it in Instagram during last month, or so, it has got over 5,000 views, and around the same numbers are for almost all of the platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. So it periodically fetch news, it monitors for breaking news, it creates the reels for me, and then it publishes them on all those platforms. So it is helping me have a consistent posting and also cover the breaking news. It is helping me grow the audience for my channels, and it's a multi-agentic model that can gather information from multiple sources based on the need. If anyone wants to see what it has been posting or what it will post in future, you can follow any of these channels, and we can take questions also here.
Realistic. So you said that there were several reels that it looks at, but how realistic, because you could see that there was in speaking and your movement, facial movement was different.
It's not that different, but maybe it was appearing here because of the latency in the meeting and then projection and all that. If you see it on your mobile device, probably you'll not notice that it's not. In fact, interestingly, what happened, like my own brother called me 2-3 days ago, and he said, "Oh, I like your reels. You started posting daily. Doing great job." I said, "Yeah, but that's not me. It's my AI avatar." So my brother was not able to figure that out. And if by realistic you mean, can it hallucinate? Can it say something that's not real? Slightly unlikely because of the guardrails I've kept in the system prompts and the instruction that just follow or curate information from these sources, not go beyond that, and it sticks with that.
Follow-up question would be, do you have, I know you put the guardrails, but if we have to get it approved by our marketing group, or we have to get it approved by the legal department, how would you institute those?
So that depends upon like how strict your legal team or how your compliance team works. To start with, maybe you can build a repository of these videos in-house, or you can put an approval step. Not there are two ways of putting an approval step. Maybe after the reel is produced, that would not be recommended. I think you can when the AI agent produces the script, you can send it to us. You can put a step for approval, and then if it is approved, only then it will be published.
I would assume you're using Azure, right? What's the fact?
Now it's so how your question is how the video is produced or
The entire agent.
so the agent is on n8n. The video is produced through Agen and published through the API calls to all those social media.
So these platforms and maybe have some sort of security that, let's say, you're not supposed to curse or something, let's say something bad, right?
It's not that n8n will handle it.
Or let's say the news media picked up something.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
Now you're saying something which you're not supposed to.
So that you probably will have to control through this block. This block that is the actual agent. This block is consuming news from this tool, and there is a detailed prompt written inside this box that specifies that what it should do, what it should not.
That will filter out
Right.
whatever.
Correct. Correct. So you keep track, let's suppose you're building it for your organization and some story comes up about your competitor that you don't want to publish, right? So you can put it there, that don't talk about XYZ organization.
Say bad thing.
Yeah. That,
Hello, everyone. My name is Omar Ali. I am an AI engineer here at Royal Cyber. And I want to thank you guys all for being here. And I've talked to a lot of you, and we've talked to many professionals. And we realize that hallucination is a really big fear of everybody. And we want to take a different turn and introduce agents not as this autonomous thing that does your job, but as an assistant that helps you, keeps you in the loop, and helps you do your tasks, like the mundane tasks, the tedious things that, an intern or honestly sometimes a 10-year-old could do. So we have made conversational voice agents for the healthcare and legal professions to help the people with extremely busy jobs and busy lives help people. So we're making an AI that can help the people that help people. So how this works in the healthcare domain first would be that we have multiple agents that have multiple individualized tasks and like a limited amount of information. So then that agent has its own specific job. It can do it quickly and it can do it accurately based on what your needs are. So we would have a patient interaction agent that would answer general questions when people just have, questions about like, how does this work? And do you guys take this type of insurance? And it can look through the knowledge and documentation of your business that you already have, and it can answer accurately and quickly, just like a receptionist can. An intake agent that handles documentation and case notes to update that information, because that's a very big thing, documenting quickly and efficiently, so you don't have to waste your time like typing or writing and just focus on your patients. A scheduling agent that can access your calendars and book, cancel, schedule appointments and see your availability and do that for you. And a billing agent that completes real-time billing on call if that's like an option you want. I will show a demo, actually an example of us doing that with one of our demo clients that is using Square. And the best way to show you is just to call her up. So our voice agent's name is Nora, and I will call her right now so we can all get an appointment done. Let's see.
Hello, Amar Ali. You're welcome. What?
She's getting feedback from the thing.
Hello, Amar Ali. Thank you for calling Skin and Body Mart. This is Nora, your AI voice assistant. How may I help you?
Hi, I wanted a consultation. Could you list what consultations you have available?
We found these options for consultation. 1. Skincare consult. Free of charge, lasts about 15 minutes. Lash consult.
I'm going to interrupt her just so you can see that it's very conversational. Very easy. I want a skincare consultation, please.
This skincare consultation is available with Sarah Hassel, John Smith.
John Smith, please.
Okay. Now, what time would you like to book this skincare consultation with John Smith?
Could we do Thursday morning?
Thursday morning. Would you prefer this time in the morning, afternoon, or evening?
More. How about, do you have availability at 10?
Here are some available times with John Smith on Thursday at 10 a.m. 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m., 10:30 a.m.
10:15.
Your appointment with John Smith for the skincare consultation is confirmed for Thursday, August 21st at 10:15 a.m. We look forward to seeing you then. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, just let me know.
Thank you, Nora. And as you guys can see, if I go into our calendar, one second. Here, we can go into our calendar. I can see I just got a text message confirmation for the appointment. And you can see our 10:15 appointment is right here with our information, specific information of John Smith and everything. So that is on the healthcare end. And I actually have somebody here. Wait, let me pull this back. Pull back. We actually have a special guest today to talk about how, sorry, 1 second. We have a special guest and partner with Royal Cyber from Chicago Trusted Attorneys, David Smith, one of the people who helps people.
Thank you, Amar. And thank you, everybody, for being here today and taking your time to hear our presentations. So, as Amar said, I'm attorney David Smith. I've been practicing in the Chicagoland area for just about 20 years. I started my own business back when I was young and naive, not realizing all the work that it would take to build it. And I had anywhere from 1 to 7 employees through the years. My practice area that I personally focus on is I'm a trial attorney for criminal defense. And so, as you can imagine, I'm busy. The phone is ringing off the hook all day, every day. And one of my main purposes in what I do is to serve my clients to the best of my abilities. I try to hold myself to a standard of excellence, and that goes to my employees as well. And I've worked hard over the years to give my employees the tools that they need so that they can serve my clients. And I want to make their jobs easier so that the client has a better time going through what can be a really difficult experience for them and for their families. So in doing so, I've been fortunate enough to partner with Royal Cyber to build some of the tools for our modern times that can help with that. One of those being Nora, which you just heard an example of in healthcare. Now, as most of you can probably imagine, the healthcare model and the operations of a medical facility or a small practice are very akin to a law practice. We have secretaries, we use paralegals, where there would be, administrative assistants in healthcare. So they are quite similar. We have the same types of billing issues and things like that. And there's constantly phone calls from new business and prospective clients that are coming in, as well as existing clients that we want to make sure are taken care of very well. Now, Nora we can call her a receptionist, but she's more like an assistant because she's multi-agentic, which means that there can be multiple things going on at the same time. Now, an example of that is when I get a new call, I have to verify what the charges are. So that means that me and my staff have to go through several systems, which takes minutes per call. We have to gather data from that client to make sure that it's accurate so that we can keep communication strong with them throughout the conversation as they build into a potential client. And then, of course, throughout the case if they're an existing client, that all has to be updated and accurate. And Nura does that, and it's fully automated. So that saves so many hours even per day just doing that. And in that example, there are public records that Nura can go in and search through to verify the charges, the upcoming court date, then cross-check it with the calendaring systems that we use to do our file management for the different attorneys and staff members. Nura can schedule calls and appointments. And the best thing for me is that I'm able to get a summary of what those charges are so that I can have a more effective pitch to that lead and hopefully close that business, because that is one of the hardest parts about owning your own business is getting the work in the door is the hardest part. And so if you can get that done, and Nura can assist with that. You're way ahead. As far as the existing clients that Nora can help with, she has access to our file management systems. So one of the most common things the existing clients do is calling for upcoming court dates, clarification on what their charges are, scheduling appointments with attorneys. And so Nora does all that, and it saves a huge cost of labor and time for staff and for myself. A mentor of mine years ago said, David, one of the most important things you can do for an existing client is just pick up the phone for them. But the other day, I spent 2 hours with a client preparing them for a trial, and I just didn't have that ability. And so Nora gives that capability where they get the attention, they can ask specific questions about their case, and Nora is able to give that in a timely way for them, which is really all that they want. They want that attention. And I want to be able to give that to them, but there's no cloning yet, unfortunately. So Nora, can give that assistance right away. I want the customer service level to be extremely high for all of my clients. One moment, please. So I would say that this advancement with Nora and this type of legal assistant is just the beginning. And for criminal defense, I have my use cases, as they say in the industry now, but a lot of my civil colleagues can use it to schedule depositions, which can be extremely time consuming for them just to get all of these parties together, multiple attorneys, court reporters, getting it all on the same date. I hear constant complaints from my friends that it's just so time consuming. So I guess the point of it all is that we can recapture our time here and put it to better use. The example I was talking about with the gentleman in the front row is that I spent 2 hours preparing that client for trial. AI can't do that. We have a live judge who's going to be judging their case. I have to watch their body language. I have to make sure that they feel comfortable and confident when they take the stand. And that just takes practice, reps, and time. And time is money. So when I'm doing that with them, I still need my business to run. And I'm so thankful that these tools are becoming available in the advancements in technology, because it's going to free that up to both give that higher level of customer service and client service, better legal services by the practicing attorneys and staff. And that's an important piece, but it also gives us as the workers our time back with our families, which is really why I'm working in the first place. I want to see my son and daughter. And if Nura can free up that receptionist aspect so that on the weekends I don't have to answer every single call, because I don't want to lose the business. I want my kids to go to college. I need to capture that. So the sophistication that it's at right now, to me, when I first heard these demos, my mind was blown. And so I've decided to integrate this into my firm. And it's not just this receptionist aspect of Nura. We're continuing to build new tools to help with documentation, even to the point where these tools are learning. So just like I have to help train a new receptionist or a paralegal or an associate, you have to be patient as they go through their learning curve. It's the same with these new tools. And if we have that patience and we let time go on, they're going to be quite impressive by the end of all that. So thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Any feedback from the clients about the experience using? My goal is to be, press one to get to the technical automation methodology and get to be fine.
That's a fantastic question that will be, ever changing as new technologies come up to deal with the volume coming into businesses. And so my feedback is that Nora has a very soft and kind of gentle voice. And I've had staff through the years that I've had to pay close attention to the nuances of their voice patterns and how they answer calls. Some are better than others. But Nora is always consistent. So I've had sometimes receptionists that have been in a bad mood at the time. And then I get a phone call later or a complaint that they work. And so the consistency of this type of technology and doing it in the same way every time. Just like when I started using email contracts and email in the first place and taking my firm from paper to digital and then automating processes. Some clients have a hard adjustment. We will hold their hand and walk them through that. They deserve it. But most of them, especially the younger classes that are coming up, they adore the application of these new technologies that I'm using. It gives them a confidence in my practice that I'm not just paying attention to the law, I'm paying attention to the way that businesses run and how they're taken care of. Now, I've been lucky enough to have a spouse that does customer experience. So I'm always hearing that out of one ear. And I'm standing here on the shoulders of other people who helped me along the way and adopted those things. So patients with the clients that need the adjustment, just like with DocuSign and those things that came out over the years. When I started taking credit cards as another example, people always thought it was a scam. Can I pay you in cash? And today, no one pays me in cash. Nobody. So it's on the cusp. You're always on the cusp of adopting these new things. And I say be brave, try them out, go through that, some of the tougher moments of that, and you'll be better on the other side. So thank you for your question. Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Now I would love to introduce our AI and data engineer and someone who helps me a lot with our pipelines, showing us some new emerging technology.
Thank you, Amar. Hello all, my name is Heather. I work as a data and AI engineer at Cyber. Today I'm going to be talking about the Google's A2A protocol. Yeah, so to begin off, I would say at the beginning of this event, we talked about what agents are. We then got to know about Azure AI Foundry, how we can make agents inside Azure AI Foundry, deploy them, and have them spec to whatever our needs are. And then we showcased several of our demos that are leveraging the multi-agentic, right? On the screen, you can see several of the agentic frameworks that can be used to make agents. And in these frameworks, you can actually have multiple agents work together to give you or output the answer that you need. These agents can do tool calls, it can go into your database, get data out of it, and answer based upon that data. But yeah, so semantic kernel, we have semantic kernel over here, that's Microsoft's agentic framework. We've got LangChain, LangGraph, and Crew AI. Now, these are all frameworks you can use to create agents. The issue is that you develop this AI system, right, which are leveraging these AI agents, right? So you must be leveraging either Crew AI, either LangGraph, or you might be leveraging AWS's Bedrock or Azure AI Foundry. What if in your AI system, you want to call an agent that's remotely deployed, right, in LangGraph, or you want to use an agent that's outside of your framework in Azure AI Foundry? How do we have access to those agents at that point of time? Like you do not want to be creating the same agent in your framework, right? You do not want to be reinventing the wheel. So what's the answer to that? Well, Google came up with their own answer to this, and that's called the A2A protocol. Now, A2A is short for agent to agent, and through this protocol, we have now standardized the way agents talk to each other. It has standardized the output schema of the agents. It has also standardized the way they do tool calls and talk to each other, and also maintain state. In this slide, you can see you've got 3 agents, right? Think of these agents like a group of co-workers, each with a different expertise. You've got agent A, you've got agent B, and then you've got agent C. Agent A might be a travel planner. Agent B might be like a weather expert, right? Agency is like a budget advisor. So think of this system or this AI system as a travel concierge, sort of, an AI system. They all speak the same language, which is sorry for that. They all speak the same language, that's the A2A protocol. So they can share updates with each other without confusion instead of working alone. So instead of working alone, they collaborate with each other, right? They do not compete against each other, and they combine knowledge gives smarter answers. So what is MCP then? Does MCP actually compete against A2A? Well, no, they can be used in tandem and they actually complement each other. So MCP stands for the Model Context Protocol. And through Model Context Protocol, you can actually, your AI system has a standardized way of calling APIs, right? And because the MCP servers are actually put up by the company that is providing a solution, like ServiceNow, let's say. ServiceNow may have their own MCP server that we can leverage to do API calls, right? You don't have to bear the burden of maintaining those MCP servers. You just have to use them in your system and just pay for the API calls. That's it. So no tedious way of doing integrations, and you basically forget the hassle of updating your code every time there's a change in the SDK. But in this GIF, you can see we've got an AI agent 1 and the AI agent 2. Both of these agents are doing multiple API calls through an MCP server. But let's say I have a host agent that wants to call either of these agents. How will they communicate to each other? They're both isolated. They're both siloed in their own frameworks. Well, they can do it through the A2A protocol. Think of A2A protocol as the HTTP for chatbots or agents or AI assistants. That's how they can communicate and collaborate. So before delving down into the demo that I'm going to present, can I get a show of hands of how many people like going on vacations? Most of us, right? How many of us actually like planning those vacations? None. Okay, I hate both. Yeah, I would rather stay at home and code AI agents using Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. But this travel concierge AI is something that I came up with. And on your screens, you can see the agents, all the agents and the sub-agents in a hierarchical form, in a hierarchical fashion, that actually take me step by step on solving the problem of planning my itinerary, my travel, my stay at hotels, all of it through a hierarchical system. All of it on the left hand, leftmost, you can see the root agent. This root agent is actually the front end of the whole application. And it's basically orchestrating every prompt to the correct agent so that it can leverage that specialized agent, that has specialized knowledge and specialized skills to cater to my needs. Anyways, we've got the inspiration agent, we've got the planning agent, we've got the post-trip agent, the in-trip agent, the booking agent, all of it. So I do not have to go through the hassle of shuffling between what the weather is on specific days, what hotel should I go into to do my bookings, where to go, because the anxiety kicks in as soon as you decide on where to go. Like, let's say 2 years ago, I was in Cincinnati and I was planning on my first vacation in Chicago. I was like, where do I go? I have no idea. So you go through many places and you're like, you wish you were at every place. Or yeah. So anyways, the demo. So give me a second while I pull it up. All right, I believe every one of us can see it on their screens. All right, so behold the travel concierge AI system. This was obviously developed through Google's ADK. And the agents that you saw on the screens, let me pull that up again, because many of these agents are cross-platform. So some of them lie in Creo AI, some of them have been constructed using LangGraph, some of them have been constructed using Google ADK, right? And they're all running instances on my PC right now. This logo over here, it stands for MCP. The MCP, the Model Context Protocol, and this logo over here is for Google's A2A protocol. So you can see that I will be leveraging both of these protocols to make my AI system generate the answer that I want. Okay. All right. So right here, I'm just going to say hi, the root agent. And then I'm going to, it says hi there. I'm going to say, I need some help. I'm just going to put the mic down so that I can write faster. I need some help planning my trip to Chicago for the Labor Day weekend. Thank you. All right, you can see as soon as it got to know that I need some work done, that's not in my control to do. It does these agent handoffs. So it transfers to agents. It transfers to the specific agent that can help me do that job. So it says, okay, I can help you plan your trip to Chicago for Labor Day weekend. First, I need a little information. What date would you like to arrive in Chicago? What date would you like to leave Chicago? So my arrival date would be 29th August, and leave date is 2nd of September. It will go in and memorize this information. So yeah, so it goes in there, memorizes the information, and it says, I've stored the start and end dates for your trip. Now that I have the destination and date, do you like to help with flights and hotels? Yes, please. The root agent is prompted to go in a sequential manner. It's now saying, great, let's start with the flights. What's your origin city? Origin is Cincinnati, Ohio. Go Bearcats. It's too small. Can you zoom in? Oh. Is it better now? Awesome. You guys could have told me that. Okay. So it has found some flights for me. Of course, not going to spend time looking at those. Again, because I'm rich, I'm just going to select one. What? That's the cheapest. Now, would you like to choose your seat for the flight? Right. Yes. Here are some of the available seats for American Airlines onto row 1, 1A. I've stored your seat selection for the outbound flight. Let's find a return flight. Again, 1. And let's make that row 1 any seat. I've stored the return flight selection. Now let's select your seat for this flight. Oh, okay. I have to specify it 1A. I've stored your seat information for a return flight. Let's move on to the hotels. Do you have any preference for hotels, like a specific area or price range? Near the near Lakeshore Drive, I suppose. Any hotel would do. So I'm going to show you something really interesting as I'm going through this, and as the AI agent is transferring or doing handoffs to the agents or the sub agents and doing all these tool calls. They're all being saved as events on the left panel, and I'll go through these and have some really interesting stuff to discuss. So it has found the hotels. I'll do the Thompson. It's fine. Okay, here are some available rooms. Do a twin with balcony. Right. Right. Let's draft it. Draft it out. So now it's asking me my point of interest that I want to visit. So, I'm just going to ask it to suggest me some POIs. Right. You can see that it just suggested me those POIs and it drafted out the entire itinerary, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5, with scheduled activities, all of them timed. And it has went in and booked my flight for me. It also has put in the time of the flight. Let's say depart from Chicago back to CBG, arrival time, all of this information, and this is a whole plan for me now, right? All of this is done through the help of these agents. Thank you, Amar. Yeah, it helped me go through each of these steps. The AI system or the root agent was able to call the right sub-agents and agents through the A2A protocol. And let me show you some of the events that actually took place. Right. On the left panel, you can see the root agent. And this is, so at the top, you see event 1 of 62. This is the event that took place right after I said hi. Right. And I'll just go through the events. The first event, I said hi, and then it started calling the planning agent, right? Because I said I want to travel to Chicago. The planning agent actually went in and memorized what I had to say. Then what happened is it memorized some more information because I had a lot to say. And I'm going through the events one by one. It's memorizing all that information. And then it went to the flight search agent. Got the flight details, memorized them. And now we're back at the planning agent. Right. And then it went to the flight seat sub-agent, which is part of the agent's scope of the planning agent. It memorized all that information, put it in the database. Now the return flight went in, but it goes in, memorizes that too. It gets all the information. Flight seat selection agent. This is another agent. When it goes in, memorizes the information that I selected, goes back to the planning agent. And now it goes to the hotel search agent from the planning agent. So all of these steps are being recorded, they're being traced. All the calls, all the events, all the requests that are made, and all the responses that I get are being logged. Similarly, yeah. So it goes through each and every step of it and traces it, saves it, and persists it so that I'm able to see exactly what was done. So that was part of my presentation. If we have any questions, I'd like to entertain.
I just have a question. Is it great for an itinerary? But where are the tickets and where are the content?
So many of the APIs that were being used by the agents to do tool calls were mock APIs. right? But in a real world scenario, what you would have is have them call the right APIs, which do generate which do generates those tickets and require some information we put in.
Hey, of 2 weeks out.
Agreed. More questions? All right. If there are no more questions, we can proceed towards the quiz. So I guess that everybody's excited about this. I'll just pull out the QR code through which we can go and access the quiz material. Right. So those who want to, be a part of this quiz, please, they or scan the QR code from your phones, and I'll be starting the quiz as soon as I see all of us ready.
So for the first 5 winners are, what are the names? So we lost the names, so we might have to do this again. No, I'm just joking. I saw the first 2 names. It was EM and Jojo was there. One with Joe and one with Joe.
The third was mine.
Okay. It's disappeared. Okay, so I think while we are figuring out, I will just like so if somebody can just go to that application and figure out that who are the 5 winners are, so that we can give them the gift. So the last thing, just 5 more minutes, and then we will be done. So I think some of you were basically asking me that if I want to have a multi-agentic system for myself, so what shall I do? So let me just bring this. Let's see. Yeah, can you just check why this is going to the presentation?
I was Joe.
Okay. There you go.
You can
It is such a it's move forward. So we can perfect. So for those people who want to get started with the multi-agentic AI, assistant. So Raw Cyber provides a multi-agentic AI marketplace for you. Okay, so this particular multi-agent AI marketplace, I consider the supervisor, agent. This is primarily built on the Azure AI Foundry. Okay, and I mean all the data governance is through Microsoft Purview, and then you can create agents inside Azure AI Foundry, and like Heather showed you, that you can also create it inside Google or inside the Amazon Web Service also. This is how our UI looks like. So if you're familiar with the ChatGPT, our UI is something similar. If you go with the ChatGPT licensing, so they charge about $65 per user. Okay, so if you have 5,000 people in your company, so you can do the math, like 5,000 multiplied by 65, right? But with with this, basically Azure AI agentic marketplace, this is how it looks like. So if I go to the, you can just go to the window. So I think this is how the UI looks like. So the UI is like this, and then if you go to the marketplace, here you can deploy all of your company, agents. So you have like agents in research, you have agents in human resources. Now, once you have those, agents out there, people can select that. They can use those, with the agents. They can find it. If you want to basically create your own, agent, so you can go to the, create an agent, and then you can basically edit. This is how you basically, create it. And then you can, basically upload your files in there, OneDrive, this support OneDrive, Google Drive, WhatsApp, and so on. You can also connect it to any sort of workflow. So if you saw that, Asif and, Jason showed you like many different workflows, right? So you can, connect any workflow out here. Okay. So, something like this can be developed for you. So we have this package, which I just wanted to quickly show it to you. So if you want an multi-agentic, enterprise, assistant, so we can bring that up within 2 weeks for your organization. We can take any 5 use cases from any of these different, domains like HR, operations, travel, and so on and so forth. We do like a very detailed workshop where we will show you, and then we provide support, and I think unlike ChatGPT where you have to pay per user, this will be unlimited user. So something like this, agentic AI for your company can be up within few weeks, and I think that's about it. Any other questions, feedback, anybody? Okay, no questions. Okay. Thank you so much for coming by. We will be here. So if you have any other feedback, questions, please, come and see us. Thank you so much.
Lastly, okay. Lastly,
Yes, yeah, sorry.
there is a survey. If you guys could please spend like 2-3 minutes to fill it out, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And for the future, we will be having 2 more sessions coming up. So this is one, which will be happening on September 18th. It will be a service now. It will be in Chicago, downtown. And then we will be doing another one similar to this on October 29th. And this session will be virtual. So let me bring back to the screen. Thank you so much once again.